All right, so I want to compare Farmgirl Flowers with Urban Stems. They are two of, I think, the more modern, kind of like Pinterest-worthy, more interesting floral delivery companies right now. And I think that they have a lot of similarities, but also a lot of differences that set them apart. I ordered a bouquet from each of them, and I was very pleased with both of them. Urban Stems tend to be more modern, a little bit more elegant, and then the Farmgirl Flowers bouquets are a little more rustic. A lot of them come with like a burlap wrap around them. I think both of them are more exciting than the kind of like classic, like tight bundles from some of the bigger names in floral delivery. They look a little bit more like wedding flowers, a little bit more designed, and just, more interesting, just newer. Urban Stems has a lot more variety, both in terms of like selection alone and then just like different styles. They've got the more rustic, like farm fresh look bouquets. They've got stuff that's kind of modern. They've got stuff that's kind of like darker. So you'll kind of find something for everyone and something for every occasion. Farmgirl Flowers is really like, if you're looking for a rustic wildflower bundle wrapped in burlap, that's like kind of what you're gonna get there. They do have other options as well. Like right now they have bundles of different, a lot of single stem or single flower bundles of, peonies or tulips or daffodils. They had some quince branches, like really nice stuff. But they do not have the same variety that Urban Stems has. Farmgirl Flowers has a lot of arrangements where they kind of show you the vibe, and then they'll just kind of fill in the bouquet with whatever flowers they have that are fresh and available. They give you kind of like a color palette, some ideas for the flowers that they'll include, but not the exact flowers. Urban Stems is a little more traditional in that, like, they will make substitutions based on what's fresh, but they kind of like what you see is what you get, which I really appreciated. Although both of them do show you the correct size bouquet for that price on their website, which if you've seen my videos about flowers before, you know that that's a huge pet peeve of mine, where they do like the bait and switch and show you the biggest size bouquet with the price for the smallest of that arrangement. Both Urban Stems and Farmgirl Flowers will show you a picture of the small bouquet with the small price and a picture of the medium bouquet with the medium price. So bonus points to both of them for that. In terms of price, they're both comparable. Urban Stems is a little bit more affordable. I would say, just around like $10 per bouquet, depending on the size. Obviously, every single one is different depending on the flowers, depending on the size, stuff like that. But they're pretty comparable in price. Shipping is where you might find some more savings with Urban Stems. Their shipping ranged from about $18 to $25. And then they do have some like free shipping options if you sign up for a subscription or for a membership. Farmgirl Flowers it was, in my area at least, it was $25 to ship from Tuesday through Friday and $35 on a Saturday. And then I couldn't get anything on Sunday, Monday. Not a huge difference, but just something to keep in mind. One thing that did annoy me about Farmgirl Flowers was that they automatically added like $5 worth of insurance when I went to checkout, which I hate when companies do that. Like I had to uncheck the box for this additional insurance, which if you want insurance, that's great, but like, let me choose that. Don't select it for me and hope that I'm not going to see it. It's like a little bit icky. I think when companies do stuff like that. But other than that, no real complaints. All right, and then of course, I have to talk about subscriptions, because otherwise, why are we here, right? Urban Stems has 3 different subscription sizes. You can get a classic, a seasonal, or a luxe subscription, and you can have it delivered every 2, 4, or 8 weeks, I believe. And they're exactly what it sounds like. A little classic bouquet, a seasonal bouquet, or like the luxe larger size bouquet. Farmgirl Flowers subscription is a little odd. You basically can choose a bouquet and have it sent like on a recurring schedule. So it's every, 2, 4, 8 weeks. Like I could choose this bouquet or like a bundle of fresh peonies. But they don't have a subscription that sends you a new arrangement every time, which I thought was kind of odd. I guess you could get one of the ones like this where they do kind of change it up. That's what I was talking about before. They kind of tell you it's going to be like pink and cream and yellow flowers and like expect a mix of like roses and, tulips and then it'll probably be different every time. But I thought it was kind of strange that they don't have like a one where you can choose a new bouquet every time or even have them choose it for you. But I don't know. It might not bother you if you just want, fresh peonies for your coffee table every month, then that's exactly what you're looking for. So in terms of which one wins out for me, it's pretty close. I personally prefer Urban Stems a little bit more, mostly because of their selection. They just have more variety, like you can send the like rustic wildflower bouquet to your sister-in-law, and then the, more classic, elegant bouquet to your aunt, and the like kind of dark, like thistle and anemone, like deep purple bouquet to your bestie, I also think that makes it easier to send flowers for every occasion. Like it's not just like birthday sympathy, there's like breakup flowers, and there's breakup flowers depending on like how the person feels about the breakup. You can get really, really creative with the selection at Urban Stems. That's not to say that Farmgirl Flowers doesn't have a good selection. I think they're beautiful. They all stick with like a kind of similar color palette to this. They're kind of definitely lean towards the rustic. The burlap wrap is really cute. And they are a lot more modern than some of the other like bigger names not to name names, but some of the other bigger names. I've never had any problems naming names, but but some of the big players in flower delivery. I also think that, so these are, I've had these for a couple days now and they're holding up pretty well. My Urban Stems bouquet lasted for like more than 2 weeks. And I don't think I've ever had flowers that were that fresh when I first got them. These are pretty good. There's a little bit of like browning on the roses, and there were some that like were just a little wilty when I first got them, which, you're shipping flowers, it's hard to do. But Urban Stems, I've never seen flowers that were like that kind of pristine when I opened the box, so that was pretty cool. But yeah, I think that like if you're looking for more variety, go Urban Stems. If you like this kind of like rustic and like, pink coral cream color palette that they kind of lean into, go Farmgirl Flowers. If you try either of them, I'd love to hear what you think. Let me know. And thanks for watching.